Are we getting this show on the road or what?
Hell yeah.
So, tell me more about this great book that you tell me about.
I'll tell you about a lot of great books. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In. The title of today's episode is Sex and Relationships.
Your master, the experts are here.
Yeah, you know what? Could one give us that title, that appellation? Maybe. We've been in relationships.
Well, yeah, we don't
a lot longer than me.
Yeah, we don't make it. We're not trying to say we're like professional writers that write these books, but we definitely tell you the more non-selfish approach to really just being a natural person and actually playing the game with a date or love.
And we definitely read these books and we talk about it. So, kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of the episode, there seems to be like a great divide when it comes to, what women want converse to what men want. So we kind of want to unpack that and just break the whole thing down. So this is by and large not cookie cutter to everybody that's ever been born. So let's get that disclaimer out there. But this is kind of like our take, like a general rule of thumb. Yeah,
it's a good rule of thumb. You find what fits for you, and then you take it to the next level. A book is just like it's a manuscript of ideas. It's not just like this is not the final word or anything. You adapt.
So this book right here, The Mating Mind, very good book. Is evolutionary psychology. Like Jeffrey Miller, phenomenal writer, like real palatable, you can sink your teeth into it. I would definitely recommend reading this book. Very good book. So today we're going to start off with talking about what men want versus what women want. So
that's the argument.
So that is the argument. So men tend to want sex a lot of times, subservience, approval, and freedom. Women tend to want attention, security, stability, and status.
They also like to be loved more. That probably fits in there also.
No, definitely.
We're a little bit like let's get to it. We don't mind making love and setting up what's going to lead to the love and having sex. But men are just females. It's like, please just make me feel special.
Yes,
because they're just so loaded with emotions and stuff that you want to spend time with your woman. You don't want to just be a wham bam thank you man kind of guy.
And like there is definitely a dichotomy. And it's a schism that's split down the middle as far as like what men tend to go after, because like we hold sex up as this big thing, like something that we have to a mountain that we have to climb, something that we're trying to get to. And yes, a lot of times it may seem like men only want sex, but that's not all we want, but that tends to be like the main focus a lot of times.
I can agree with you totally on that. The way I kind of look at it is like sex, when you have sex and you're doing, what you're going to be doing, it's really sort of like the payoff to the relationship. It really is like the coup de grace for what you're doing that evening with the woman. A woman, I don't know if they really see it the same way, but I just feel really good. I feel good inside, obviously. I feel like I've accomplished something, and I just feel like it's worth the effort of being in love when everything just comes together.
I agree with that.
And I think women look at it very similar, but they don't automatically look at it that way. Like, I just think that really just ties me, connects me to my wife correctly, and a lot of times,
a lot of times I think like we're too strategic and we're too mechanical about sex. I think sex is something that should be organic. When it's, like if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, it's something that should be organic. It's something like that shouldn't be like, it's Tuesday, now we're about to have sex because the kids are at the in-laws.
You're not going to be making love, really.
That's not what it's meant to be.
A lot of touching, a lot of soft touching, whispering, licking necks, tongue and ears. I'm talking about all kinds of things you got to do.
What you put in that cup? You must not be drinking the same stuff I'm drinking.
I got to talk to Mrs. Novak when I get home. Sorry.
So, number 2, I would like to talk about how men go about getting what they want adverse to how women go about getting what they want. So, a lot of times, myself included, I don't know, you per se, but men try to purchase sex, maybe by, taking women out on extravagant dates. They try to barter or display high status, instead of just, once again, letting sex just be organic. And I think, I mean,
even dating needs to be organic too.
It all needs to be organic.
Because when people just want to throw so much money at people, like the males and the females, the whole 9 yards, is you're really not falling in love. It's really about this.
It's not agenda based. Once you start doing that, like, you're going in with an agenda, and I don't think that. I think that's what kind of disrupts a lot of relationships.
It does. It for forever. It scars it forever because both sides are not expecting she expects something, he expects something different, and it's all based on like where you took her to, what jacket you bought, where you went to dinner. The skill of just making love and being with a companion is all about organic.
Yeah,
you say, it should happen naturally.
It definitely should be more natural. Should definitely be more spontaneous. So, conversely, I think women strategically mitigate the commoditized aspect of sex. And what that means in layman's terms is anybody should be able to get sex. But I think sometimes women kind of paint that picture like me having sex with you is a bigger deal and you should be more appreciative, and and it kind of puts into the men's minds that they may not be able to go get sex. So like now they place a higher value on getting sex with that woman, so they're willing to do more things.
Well, that just sounds like it's all complicated, and that just sounds all wrong.
That's definitely
it's just not the way to go. Some people only know that way, and they have troubled relationships because of that. I think you really gotta just take some time and just kind of do it the old-fashioned way. Holding hands, being in love, just doing nice things. You really have to. Obviously, males and females have to really sort of screen who they're dating too, because a woman may be the most beautiful woman in the world, and same with the man might be very handsome, but if that person is not what you're looking for, it can't go on. It has to end.
And that's key. And I think a lot of times that's where men go afoul, because
it's about the visual to them. Sometimes it's too much.
As a man, we can see a woman that we like sexually, but we never take the time to see if we would actually enjoy her company. And this is where the problems tend to start. Because you will jump into bed with this woman. You looking at it, you like, oh shit, that shit is good. But what happens is, after you start having sex, after feelings start developing on her side, maybe not so much your side, now she wants more and you don't want more. You just want her for sex. So now she's objectified, because you only wanted her for sex. And I think you lose power with that. Like if you go into a relationship or you go into interaction looking to understand who the woman is and what she can bring to the table and what are the different things that she's into, do they relate with the things that you're into, you make a deeper connection with that.
Well, I think a lot of people aren't taught that these days. They don't look at dating and relationships and falling in love and getting married in that sense anymore.
Because dudes are mad.
It's all about what do you got in the bank? I got to find a cash cow who's going to take care of my 2 other kids from another marriage because I fucked that one up, and et cetera, et cetera.
True story. The hypergamy shit.
That's what it is, and it's out of control today.
Definitely. And on the other side, dudes are just looking to have sex, so they're just like, she's hot, them jeans look good, her Instagram was dope, like I'm trying to smash, but
that's still problematic, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's still problematic.
No, it's definitely problematic because once you kind of get in and you don't want to be there, the subcommunications of the feelings that you have are gonna start coming out. She's gonna be like, this dude ain't really feeling me the way, I like him, but he doesn't like me in the same way, and that's where things start to fall off.
Well, they get contentious, and what ends up happening is they both can't talk to each other correctly.
Yes.
And what ends up happening is, and those situations of being together lead to arguments and fights and money and other strange things that should not be popping up. What ends up happening is the relationship becomes contentious.
Okay.
And the things that you're expecting to take place when you first got together, both sides, ends up becoming not what the relationship is all about anymore.
Yeah, because
fights arise.
Because once you get the sex, you're not trying to get the sex.
Right.
So all the things that you were doing, you just pull back and stop doing. And those are all the things that she liked you for.
Yeah, exactly. So if you lose the touch and the knack of what you started with, your course is going to go straight downhill. And a lot of people aren't taught to actually deal with situations. So instead of actually fixing it and talking to each other, whatever it might be to help
communication is key.
It's key.
And it's not hyperbole. It really is.
No, it really
key.
is. In everything you do, not just sex and relationships.
Any partnership that you have in life.
In business, your life, your parents, your children, whatever it might
Podcasting.
be. Podcasting. We work together, and you have to. And when we have situations, we talk.
Yeah. So
what the fuck?
So another thing I would like to talk about is understanding holding patterns. So holding patterns are behaviors, promises, or actions taken to secure momentary stasis on a negative or stagnant relationship. So what that means in layman's terms is, okay, we're in a relationship, I don't really want to be with you, but I want to keep having sex with you. So I'll just, I'll keep, kind of going through the motions, of being a boyfriend, but I'm not really there emotionally.
So that's your holding pattern you're speaking of.
Or a woman, she wants the security of the house, the car, a guy with the good job. So she'll keep having sex with you, but emotionally, she's somewhere else. She doesn't want to be with you. She really doesn't love you. And a lot of times people find themselves in these holding patterns and they can't escape. And it's to me, it's funny. And one thing I've noticed is that when men they feel like the relationship is going bad, they go from logic to emotional.
Oh, automatically.
But when women find that the relationship is going bad, they go from emotional to logical. Because a woman, piss your woman off. She'll get real logical. Remember you didn't take out the garbage?
Yeah.
Remember you were supposed to pay that certain bill and you didn't do it?
It's all the nitpicking.
Yeah. Men get real emotional. We used to have sex all the time. We used to do this. We used to do that. Now you don't want to do it. Where at first in the beginning of the relationship, they were real logical.
Oh, yeah. Your pants were off 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's kind of a role reversal, and and you find yourself with your back against the wall, and you don't understand what's going on, but you still kind of want to keep what's going on because it's familiar. You don't want to venture off into something new. You're like, oh my God, I got to get on, Tinder or whatever, Grindr, whatever's out there. Try to go out, to a bar or club and meet somebody new. You don't want to do that, so you're like, I'll just stick around with this shit, but it's really killing you inside, and you both kind of, you kind of dislike each other, and you know it, but you don't want to talk about it.
That's true, and the talking is the key, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
because then you're on cruise control. Your relationship. You get home from work. You're kind of expecting some food. Maybe you're throwing some on the table.
There's no spontaneity.
There's no fun stuff. There's no put the kids to bed. We'll fool around kind of thing. But I mean, we're not saying everybody runs through this, but the people who do run into the problem, those are the situations that pop up. A lot of people's relationships can go forever. I mean, I've been married almost 40 years, and it's been a lot of fun the majority of those years. But there's some tough times once in a while. The thing is, and what ends up happening is the reality is a bitch. You ever heard that terminology?
Yeah.
Reality is a bitch. So what happens is as you start to mature and you get a little older, and let's say you started dating when you were young, and
you're not as disillusional about what a relationship is, and relationships grow, and the older you
they're supposed to, but I wasn't talking about the positive aspect. What I was saying, what might be causing some of the problems is that when reality gets involved in the whole thing, you're starting to get older, you're trying to make sure your future's taken care of, you're working harder, you got a lot more in your mind, you sort of lose track of the fact that you need to show the affection to your spouse. And what ends up happening, it sometimes leads to not talking. The whole cycle can go out of control. Living in America is an expensive place to make money and be successful.
Yeah. And, capitalism, it's tough.
Because you have to perform.
Rat race, and it's competition. You're going at different dudes, you're going at different females, trying to, get to the precipice of some, I got the 2-car garage, and I got the 2 pets, and I got the nuclear family.
But you really don't need, it doesn't need to be that way.
You don't always need that shit.
Everybody starts to fall into that trap thinking that they got to keep moving and on and on and on. Before you know it, you wake up one day and you go, oh, I got so much paperwork to do. My libido's shot. I don't really want to make love to my wife, and she doesn't want to deal with me. And, you can fuck your shit up if you ain't careful.
Because you're forgetting, the one thing that actually got you, that helped you, that spurred you on to get all those heights was the person.
And for her, it's you.
Yes. It's that reciprocal energy, that reciprocity. And people tend to lose that, because they lose sight of it. You're so focused on, I got to get this next promotion. I got to keep up with the Joneses. I got to make sure that, that the kids get into this private school. You don't realize you don't really need all of that shit. As funny and corny as it sounds, you need that love. And I think men, just kind of tie it back.
Men forget about it faster than women, you think?
I think men need that attention that women need as well, especially when we get older. Like, you need to know that somebody's in your corner.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Well, you can actually connect that also to the fact that, like, men in general, as opposed to young females and females in general, men seem to need the motherly type of situation going on in their relationship.
Absolutely,
because we have a tendency to be a little thick-headed. Where we play a little rougher. We get more angry about things. We don't take things in stride like we should, and we do rely upon a steady woman to keep us in line.
To kind of anchor us through the.
That's the anchor. You see all young males today. They're always thinking about their mothers and their aunts and their grandparents and whatnot. Because the father guy, he's out there grinding. He's trying to make it work. He's trying to pay.
And
he's
a hard guy because he knows that you have to be a hard guy. Yeah. So he's got to put that in you.
Yeah, he wants to be your friend. He wants to be your father, but he doesn't want to be your solid friend because he knows that he realizes my kids, my female daughters and my sons and my males.
They need to see the strong male.
Yes, let mom be softer.
Yes. So the last thing I want to bring up before we cut this off is just simply sexual empowerment through radical honesty. Take off the mask. Stop playing the games. Be upfront and honest about what you want in a relationship, and don't fear losing someone or being alone. You got to be upfront from the beginning of the relationship. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for in a partner. Even if you can't comply to these things, maybe we can still be friends, but you got to let the person know. You need that radical honesty. Like, you need that transparency in anything that you do in life.
Simply to wrap it up, what he's saying is, I think you need to be able to ask the questions when you're in a young part of a relationship, and they have to be ballsy type questions, kind of gutsy. If she reacts or you react correctly to those situations, then there's a very good potential in that relationship. If you don't get what you need out of those early questions, or she just acts a little erratic with you, or you act erratic with her, both sides are going to cut each other off.
That's folks. That was the weigh-in. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
Good show, bro.
Yeah. Let it run out.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. This is actually a good book, though. Like, it's a really good book. I read this, Sperm Wars, Red Queen, Seduction. Dude, real.
Same author?
No. All different. But
yeah.
Made in Mind is evolutionary psychology. Good. It's good shit, man. Like, if you ever want, let me know. If you
I'll give it a shot, man. Thanks for bringing some good reference to the game, brother.
Because I'm
there you go.
I'm an autodidact. I'm always going out trying to consume knowledge, and I know as much data and information that I'm absorbing from all the quality of the environment and books and friends and videos that I'm only gonna get smarter. So I would love to know what 62-year-old me would have to say and what advice that he would have to impart to 40-year-old me. So I definitely would think, like, if I was given that gift, it kind of see where I'm gonna be at, at 62, like how I'm looking, how much I got up on top, how much I got around here, did I marry, do I have kids? So I would definitely want some advice from my older self. Like, I'm going with that too.
Yeah. Well, for what I can see, knowing you as a good friend and everything, I can see your personality. You're very cocksure about things. You really know exactly what it's all about, and you got to stay that course.
Yeah. So I would just be more intertwined.
Yeah. Don't self-guess. Don't lose the strength that you have within. Mm-hmm. Keep absorbing more knowledge because you're only going to get better. And then if you feel things that sort of attack your wisdom, fight them. Don't let that stuff take you over and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Media.
You got everything you need right here.
It's all in books. It's all media can affect your mind.